MCC Rising was a one-time spin-off version of Minecraft Championship, the biggest Minecraft event to have ever been hosted. It featured 10 teams of 4 small creators, which were all selected from a giant batch of over 3,000 video applications. And it all seemed to be received very well, but would they do it again? Would it make sense for the Nox crew to host another MCC Rising? What would they change to make it different? Who would be playing in the event? That's what I plan to discuss in this video. But first, make sure to subscribe. It's free and you can always undo it. Alright, let's get started. At first glance, you might think that hosting another MCC Rising would be quite simple. I mean, the gameplay is basically the same, right? They only have to change a few things, just like a normal MCC, but maybe a bit less. Yeah, and that's where you would be wrong, because on top of the gameplay changes, the Nox crew had to also deal with going through over 3,000 video applications, then cutting that down to a smaller batch of applications that they thought were good, and then going through all of those applications again to pick the final 10. And as someone who was talking with one of the Nox crew who helped with that process, I can confirm that that took way longer than it needed to. Even if that's not the concern, there's another thing to look at that is pretty important, which is viewership. I looked up a few graphs from MCC Rising and found this. The peak viewership across all teams in MCC Rising was close to 85,000 concurrent viewers, which is pretty good. But then you compare that to something like MCC 20, where the peak concurrent viewership was close to 365,000 viewers, which is more than 4 times as much. But when you look even further into MCC Rising's viewership, you find that the green geckos by themselves made up for almost half of the total viewership, and 5 of the teams combined didn't even make up for 7% of the total viewership. AIMZ by herself had over a third of the total viewership, sitting at around 28,000 viewers on average. Obviously, viewership isn't all that matters, especially for a non-canon event, unless it's MCC Pride where they're trying to raise money. All things considered, I don't expect another MCC Rising to happen, but I really hope and would like to see another one take place, even if my application doesn't make it through for the 3rd time in a row. But we are here for the hypothetical, so let's assume they do host another MCC Rising. The last MCC Rising took place on the 2nd of October 2021, in the middle of MCC 17 and 18. If we were to choose a date that's similar but for 2022, we'd probably end up with the 1st or the 8th of October. But how do we make it different? As you might have noticed, the Nox crew like to switch things up. For example, the first season where they had viewer teams was MCC 10, with only 2 of the 10 teams consisting of only viewers. Then they hosted Rising, which had all of the 10 teams consist of smaller creators. So how do they go up from that? They aren't going to add more teams to the event. So what are the alternatives? Well, I have 2 ideas. Either they host another Rising event but make the players be more recognizable Rising creators and probably include some long requested newcomers, or they mix current players together with some Rising creators, which would likely either be a 2 current player and 2 newcomer split, or a 1 current player with 3 newcomer split. I'll be looking into both options and make a selection of teams for both, but first we need to decide who gets to play in our new MCC Rising. In my opinion, MCC Rising should really feature actual Rising creators. Content creators who've been getting some popularity by making Minecraft content on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, but aren't too big. People that will be recognizable to at least like 100 people or more, preferably even a few hundred or even 1,000, because then people will have more of an incentive to watch the other creators rather than all hoarding to one big streamer or not even watch the event at all. A very good example of this was the Orange team from Rising, consisting of medium-sized streamers who have made content on the pretty successful Outsiders SMP. Another good example is Cyan, which consists of successful YouTubers that make Minecraft Manhunt content. Green and Pink would also be good examples, though both had a few creators that I'd consider too large, being AIMZ and X Nestorio, though I still think that those teams were good picks. For the players we pick, we'll assume that someone who was in the first Rising event won't be able to get in the second one. Also, quick disclaimer, I picked the people for this roster from people I know and by scrolling through YouTube and Twitch. If anyone in this video is problematic, or if 2 people on the same team have beef with each other, that's out of my control. I don't really know all of these creators' relationships. Also, the template I used for teams was made by Draconic Quill on Reddit. They were made for MCC All-Stars, but they looked cool, so I used them. Anyways, time to get into the first selection of teams. The Red Rabbits is a Lifesteal SMP team consisting of Clownpierce, Radoons, Pangy, and Prince Zam. These guys have made a presence on both YouTube and Twitch, which is why I picked them specifically. The Lifesteal SMP has also managed to dominate YouTube for quite some time, giving many previously unknown creators a platform to rise to the top, which is why I think they deserve a spot in MCC Rising. The Orange Ocelots is a Bedwars streamer team consisting of Bowshot, Xshatter, Greninja, and Zyph. These guys have been consistently making high-pixel Bedwars content on Twitch, with Zyph and Bowshot also posting videos to YouTube. Bedwars has been one of the biggest mini-games across all of Minecraft in recent years, so I think it's only right if there's a team that represents that success in MCC Rising. The Yellow Yaks is a team consisting of AJ the Bold, Minecraft Curious, Rennie Drag, and Camman18. After doing a bit of research, it seems that these creators have grown a lot recently by making consistent YouTube content to millions of people. I think some of these creators even started trends, which is why I think they deserve a spot in MCC Rising. The Lime Llamas is a team consisting of Beef Stew, Poke, Joko, and Delta. Some of these guys were part of SMP Live, which was a huge Minecraft SMP with some of the funniest creators on it. These guys represent the beginning of Minecraft's comeback, and have managed to keep up, which is why I think they deserve a spot in MCC Rising. The Green Geckos is a Minecraft speedrunner team consisting of Feinberg, Fulham, Curryway, and Nerdy. All of these guys are part of the well-known House Builder gang, and actually signed up for the previous MCC Rising with this exact team. Speedrunning has taken over Minecraft streaming content, and some of these guys have been at the front of all of it, which is why I think they definitely deserve a spot in MCC Rising. Next up is the Cyan Coyotes, consisting of Fire Breathman, myself, Mysticat, and Animagician. Some of us have been very active Minecraft event players, and others have shown a lot of presence on YouTube with different types of Minecraft content. All of us have also been good friends for a long time, and are even decently well known as a group of 4. All of us have connections to MCC in different ways, and have been some heavily requested players for the main event, which is why I think this team would be a great fit for MCC Rising. The Aqua Axolotls is a team of Minecraft TikTok creators, consisting of Aimston, Ava JC, Jadenman, and Jellybean. These creators have all popped off on TikTok, and managed to translate their TikTok audience into Twitch and YouTube. This team represents a newer social media platform that has allowed many Minecraft creators to grow an audience in a short period of time, which is why I think they should be in MCC Rising. The Blue Bats is a Minecraft Bedrock Edition team consisting of Potato Pie 25, Insane Orbits, Ignacio Blade, and Evident. This team signed up together for the last MCC Rising, and I really thought they'd make it in, but apparently not. Minecraft Bedrock Edition is a huge part of Minecraft's success, so having a team that represents that success is definitely deserved, so I hope they get another chance if MCC Rising happens again. The Purple Pandas is a Minecraft Manhunt team consisting of Fanst, Boblu, Bobo, and Andres. Ever since Dream got millions and millions of views, Minecraft Manhunt content has become a trend for new creators to grow from. And with the Cyan Coyotes from last event doing well and being liked a lot, I think this team will be able to follow in their footstep if MCC Rising returns. The Pink Parrots is an SMP team consisting of Ori Loves Tea, Gucky, Spidey Army, and Gracie. These streamers have been creating content for many people to find comfort in, and have collaborated with some of the biggest Minecraft streamers out there. They've made an impact and are known by a lot of people, which is why I think they should be featured in the next MCC Rising. So, I hope you like the teams I put together. These teams are definitely not balanced, but neither were the previous MCC Rising teams, so it's probably fine. Let me know in the comments which team you like the most and which ones you think are the best. Personally, I think it's going to be hard to compete with the speedrunners and Lifestyle SMP boys, so those are my picks for Dodgeable. Now, let's look at MCC Rising teams if current MCC players and Rising creators are mixed together on the same team. These teams will have 2 current MCC players and 2 Rising creators. Some players were replaced with other newcomers to better fit the teams. Also, I'm going to go through these teams a bit faster because I already explained most of the newcomers to you. The Red Rabbits consist of Spidey Army, Tubbo, TommyInnit, and Jellybean. Tubbo has talked and collabed with both Spidey and Jellybean, and Tommy is there because he'll make the team even funnier, and the dynamic between Tommy and Jellybean would be very interesting to see. The Orange Ocelots consist of CPK, Fulham, Orion Sound, and Animagician. Callum and Annie work together on the All Things MCC channel, and the other 2 are great friends with Callum, making this team a fun and chaotic bunch of lads. The Yellow Yaks consist of False Symmetry, Feinberg, Curryway, and Cubfan. This team actually happened in Twitch Rivals before, and they managed to get first place, so I'd be very interested to see how well they do together in MCC. The Lime Llamas consist of Fire Breath Man, Gracie, Kratzy, and Shovel. Shane, Gracie, and Dave are good friends with each other, and Dave and Shelby have been wanting to team together for a little while now. So altogether, I think this team will be wholesome, competitive, and definitely fun to watch. The Green Geckos consist of Gucky, Amesy, Rambu, and Bad Linu. From what I know, all of these people are good friends with each other and even met up in real life. I'd be very interested to see how they would compete in MCC, or if they're there just to make some good content. The Cyan Coyotes consist of Fundy, myself, Mysticat, and Michael McChill. Misty has frequently collabed with the other 3 members of this team in their recent Minecraft videos. This team is also definitely one to watch, as I'm confident that the comedy level on this team would be very, very high. The Aqua Axolotls consist of Ant Frost, 5up, Ava JC, and Greninja. Greninja. Ant is friends with both 5-Up and Greninja, Ava is good friends with Greninja, and altogether, this team just works really well. This team is definitely very competitive, so it'd be interesting to see how they would compete in MCC. The Blue Bats consist of Krinios, Tapple, Delta, and Zyph. I'm pretty sure all of these guys are friends with each other. Harvey and Zyph also used to make a lot of content together, so this team would definitely be a good and funny team to watch. The Purple Pandas consist of Ellum, Captain Puffy, Smager, and Bowtie. I think Ellum and Puffy are dating, Scott knows both of them pretty well, and Bowtie knows Scott from the Oranges SMP. This team would definitely be interesting to see, as I have no clue what their dynamic is like. The Pink Parrots consist of Ori Loves Tea, Niachu, Dream, and Anthony Padilla. Ori and Nikki used to collab a lot, people have been wanting to see a team of Dream and Nikki, and Anthony is just a very interesting addition to this team, having interviewed both Dream and Nikki before. I also forgot to put Wilbur in, but he can probably just play Ace Race for Shelby. Personally, I think that the best teams are yellow and all the blue colored teams, but make sure to let me know what team you think wins in the comments below. That's all for the hypothetical next MCC Rising. If Scott or the Nox crew are watching this, I give you permission to yoink my idea and make it happen. Please. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed, make sure to subscribe for more epic content. Woo!